Okay. Did that do the trick? Did that do the trick? Did that do the trick? All right. All right. Hey, 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 oh. No big deal, you know? No big deal. We roll with it, you know? Last thing you want to do is get all mad and rage. Come on, guys. Silly, silly folks. Okay, back to the Warhammer talk. Listen, I had an incredible game of Warhammer last night. I'm going to take you through it. I'll try to make it brief because I know you guys are going to be mad. Some of you are like, I can't fucking believe he's still going to do the Warhammer bit. I'm doing it because I just want to explain it, man. Like, I think, first of all, there's some people in the community that are really getting into Warhammer. And there's others that, like, I don't get it. And I just want to explain the game a little bit because I think it'll just show you how much fun and why people love the game so much. So I played Custodes. I played one of my favorite armies. It's the army I started with. They're super elite. This is a very elite army, meaning all of their units cost a lot of points. Their stats are really, really high, but you're not going to be able to put a bunch of them on the table. So you're almost always outgunned and outmanned when you play Custodes. And I decided to do that. And no, I'm talking about the tabletop game. So I bring out a Custodes army. My buddy plays Sisters of Battle. Sisters of Battle right now are incredible. They're a very powerful army. And they're also a non-elite army. They're actually what's known as a heavy metal army, which means they run a lot of tanks, a lot of like vehicle support, and then a lot of small armored units that are going to move around the board and do stuff like that. So we sit down to play this game, and the layout and the mission, which are both random, are very advantageous to my opponent, my buddy. Okay, so I'm on the back foot in a lot of ways. He also had an army that has a lot of scout units and infiltrators, so he can get out into the mid board and really suffocate the space very early. So it was basically almost everything that could be stacked against me was stacked against me. He went first, which actually ended up giving me a chance to win at the end. He had scouts, infiltrators. He had way more than me. The layout basically had so many fucking gun lanes that this dude has like six tanks. And it's like basically anywhere I'm going to go, I'm going to get shot up. Okay. So I kind of turtle. I kind of like play very conservatively the first turn. I only give him a couple shots. Now, he does peel off a couple of my Verderus Praetor bikes, really important units on turn one, but I kind of still get out pretty easy on turn one, okay? Then it gets to my turn, dude. Bro, I'm telling you, the game starts ripping because I'm behind. I need to like get ahead. So I bring a unit of bikes and they launch all their missiles into one of his tanks, like way the fuck back, and literally one shot. Boom! Tank fucking explodes. I'm like, yo! Like, we spiked on that, okay? Next thing I did was I sort of stage up all of my melee dudes, kind of, you know, conservatively, but with the ability to maybe come out and strike eventually. So I line up a 10-inch charge. I freaked out about this last night on the Discord. I lined up a 10-inch charge, which basically was like this. I had an incredible unit led by the current Captain General of the Custodes, Trajan Valorous. I actually proxied him, though, with Constantine Valdor, and so in my head, I was like, oh, this is Constantine Valdor. That's super nerdy. You probably don't know what that means. But point is this. I stage my melee dudes up so that they're safe behind this wall, a wall that they can actually breach because they're infantry and it's a breachable wall. And I line it up so I have a 10-inch charge. And if I make this charge, which has a 17% chance about to roll a 10 with 2d6s, if I make this charge, then like I have just decimated one of his like really powerful units that he was holding the center with. I make the 10-inch charge. I use Trajan's once per game to double his attacks. I fucking annihilate Morven Vol in a unit of Paragon Warsuits in the center of the battlefield. It was a thing of fucking beauty. He comes back, he shoots. I was like, basically the way the game went was he had basically everything in his advantage. and I had to literally play my ass off. I had to roll my ass off. There were multiple times where I would roll 5 out of 6 4-ups on my saves, which is, again, you won't understand if you're not a Warhammer player, but like, dude, the saves were, I was rolling like the God Emperor himself was shining down on my shit. There was another moment later in the game where Trajan, his whole bodyguard unit is basically getting peeled off. He charges into a tank. As he's charging, they peel off the last guy, so he's by him fucking self. He doubles his attacks again because you can re-rack with a stratagem in that detachment, and he fucking annihilates the tank. And my buddy rolled a 6, so the tank exploded and damaged all of his units around. Like, dude, I'm telling you, it was like a fucking movie, dude. Like, just, oh my God. And an incredibly fun game. I ended up losing by 2 points, which is crazy because my buddy asked me if I wanted to quit after turn 3. He was like, dude, do you just want to scoop it? And I was like, no, man, like, I'm rolling too hot. You know what I mean? I'm rolling too hot. So, oh, it was glorious. Oh, it was fucking glorious. And there's just nothing like it, man. There's nothing like, you know, first of all, there's nothing like the brain power that game takes, dude. Like, I was just dialed the fuck in for hours. But also just the moments the game can create when you try ballsy and bold things. You know, working against the odds is always really fun. One of the Warhammer content creators I watch, he always has this expression where he says, your models will never get to do something epic if you don't give them the chance to do something epic. Meaning, like, you gotta take some chances out there and try some wild shit. I mean, how are you gonna have a crazy story like this if you don't try some crazy shit? So, dude, oh man, I'm telling you guys, if you're Warhammer curious, if you're one of the people that's kind of in Warhammer right now, like, so I know Adam's in, I've actually played Adam a couple of times. But Adam's like in that very beginner stage where, like, you know, he just doesn't have the whole tool set put together to play, like, to actually sit down and play like a competitive game throughout each and every moment, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot. But I was there too. And when you get there, it took me about a year of playing. When you get there and you, like, don't suck at the game anymore and you can actually general properly, oh my God, it's the most rewarding shit. It is the most rewarding shit because you spend all this time building, assembling, you know, painting your models, learning about your army. You know, there's all this stuff, this investment that happens. And then, like, when you get to the point where you actually do it, oh, it's so cool, man. So just wanted to share that with you guys because it was a great game. All right, sorry. Enough yapping about that. Sorry. That shit was dope, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Do you think Kevin plays Warhammer? Probably not, man. Probably not. He doesn't have the time. It's so not rewarding because I have to sit there. Hey, you don't say that. Connor says, it only lags when you talk Warhammer. You should probably just move on. You son of gun. Oh, we got a bunch of jokesters in chat today, huh? Too expensive? No, thank you. Well, the thing is, we played last night on Tabletop Simulator, which was $10 when I bought it. All the models are digital and free, so it's like a simulator. That's definitely not the same as going to a real tournament, having a real army, and that is an investment for sure. But, dude, you can get into Warhammer and play a lot of Warhammer without buying a single model. You know what I mean? Which I think is pretty cool. Kevin knows it's the best. You're right, Ibsy. Maybe he does. Maybe he is playing it. So people could play with other people around the world. Yeah, there's actually a lot of tournaments that happen on TTS as well. So, the Tabletop Simulator. So if you're... Like, there's actually a thriving scene of people that just play on Tabletop Simulator. And to be honest with you, it's really convenient. I mean, when you get the chance to play in person, you're obviously going to take it because you want the models on the table. That's like the big draw, right? And it can be so fun with the terrain and things that people can set up. But, brother, if it's just about getting a few games in, dude, TTS has allowed me to play hundreds of more games over the last couple of years than I've would have otherwise been able to do. How do you transfer physical models to TTS? Well, the models are just there as a mod. So Tabletop Simulator, think of it as literally just a thing that you go in and you could play checkers, you could play chess, you could play Uno, you could play poker. It is a true simulator of a gaming tabletop environment. Now, what people did is there's all sorts of mods So you have to get the mod that will allow you to play Warhammer on it, but the physics is all like a simulator. And then there's packages of models that people have created that you just download, and then you can upload when you play your game. So yeah, it's super cool, man. Highly recommend. And also too, it is International Men's Day. Okay, I don't know what that means, but fuck yeah, bros! Happy International Man's Day to you, my bro muchachos, my Abraham Lincolns out there. Appreciate you. Also, the cure to male loneliness is getting into Warhammer. So I just want you to know that that's why we're talking about it today. Hell yeah. Is there a Warhammer mobile game? There is actually a really good one. You dropped 200 on comics this morning. Well, that sounds like you got some. I hope you got some good books. That should be a haul, baby. That should be a whole haul. There's a couple. There's one. Tacticus, I think, is actually a really good mobile game. The problem is it's a money pit, dude. Just like all the mobile games. They fucking dude, it's so gross, the monetization on it. But the mechanics of the game are actually incredible. So you got to kind of give credit where credit is due. Tacticus, I think, is actually a really well designed mobile game. I've had a lot of fun playing it. But at some point I looked at it and I'm like, brother, what are we doing here? You know, we're spending all this money, like, fuck that. So I haven't really been playing it, but yeah, I saw that, Trev. It was a comic, right? And then the guy was streaming doing your commish, right? That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Good for you. The cure to male loneliness is also wearing deodorant, guys. I mean, yeah, do yourself a favor and do the community a favor. If you're getting into Warhammer, lather up that Dio for that BO, baby. Yeah. That's cool, Trev. That's awesome, man. Did you watch the whole thing? Did you watch him stream the whole thing? I gotta say, that would be a pretty fun... That's a good investment, I feel. That's a fun investment. Straddle up. I figured out why Thor is crying with Deadpool. They create a bromance in each other and are doing Thor's brother in danger skit at some point in Doomsday. Bookmark it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool, man. All right, so let's get into some show notes here, guys. I do have some unfortunate news for you. I wasn't just late today. I'm also going to cancel some shit. I'm sorry. Listen, I have a migraine coming on. I can kind of feel it coming on. We're good for a stream today, but no Nerdvenger stream tonight. I am going to try to do a Deadpool stream tomorrow. I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to do a Deadpool VR stream tomorrow if I can get it working. Either way, I'm going to play the shit out of it because I want to make some content about the game. And I want to play the fucking game, dude. The Deadpool VR is awesome. So I'm really excited to get in. I'm so miserable now. Yeah. So I'm hoping to do a Deadpool stream tomorrow, but honestly, I don't know. And I don't know that I'm going to take Friday off as well. But I have a lot going on. I have a lot of meetings lined up. I've got some stuff going on. And I've also been on like a terror the last couple of weeks of like making content and doing a lot of work. So I'd like to spend a little time with the family. Trust me, there's a lot of cooking, a lot of nerdvenging in our future, and I have some really fun plans throughout the month of December. We're going to have a fucking blast, dude. And then, of course, we're going to have a lot of fun into next year. But just bear with me a little bit over the course of the holidays. I might take a couple more days off here and there. Really just want to... I just want to spend a little more time with the kids in the holiday season, to be honest with you. I've been working like a dog, working on stuff that you guys don't even know about. Like, there's a lot going on. But it's all good things. I'm very excited. I'm very happy. But, man, I miss my kids a little bit. You know, I was hanging out with them last night. Athena's playing with the King Thanos and Odin Marvel Legends figures, and she's loving it. They're at a very awesome age right now. So, yeah, just bear with me over these next couple of weeks, guys. But, man, trust me, when we get into 2026, there's a lot of cooking will be done over here. I might get a chef's hat, to be honest. Yeah. Zach, I know I'm getting... Oh, yeah. No, I can always feel... For me, I always feel it kind of like... It almost feels like it's like in my spine or in the back of my head a little bit. And it feels kind of like you're dehydrated, but you kind of know. You kind of know. You know what I mean? What's happened, so... Yeah. Are those checkered pants? What the hell? What's going on? And also, too, let's get into all the stuff. We got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about these photos. What the hell is going on with these Doomsday photos? Are these real? Are these not real? Are these fake and yet somehow accurate? Which is something we'll get into. I want to talk about that. Maybe we'll touch a little bit on what's going on with Warner Brothers. That story continues to heat up, and it's very interesting there. And then there's a leaked trailer description. There's a leaked trailer description for Doomsday. And I mean, we're gonna talk about it. We'll break it down. I don't know. There's parts of it that I think could be real. There's parts of it that I don't think are real. And we'll get into all of that. It's just wild that all of this is happening. There's so much happening. So yeah, that's kind of the schedule today. We'll go over those three things. I'll kick it. I'll try to answer some of your questions, hang out a little bit, and then we'll get on out of here. But what's going on with y'all, man? How are you guys doing? And also, do you guys have any awesome plans for the holidays? What are you guys doing for the holidays? Let's talk about that a little bit. My name is Doom. Get those steps. Yeah, 100%. No, I definitely have to be getting more cardio in. What about the trailer leak? Yeah, we're going to go over the trailer leak. Absolutely. Well, Johnny, sometimes that it can be helpful, and sometimes I don't think it helps these situations. I mean, I don't know. I've struggled with migraines basically my whole life. Not consistently, but maybe about once. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think? Because you guys know, because I usually will tell you guys. So I would say maybe once every 2 to 3 months, I hit a little spell of them. But it's definitely not as some people suffer daily with that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful that that's not what's going on with me. But have I heard of the game Dispatch? Yeah, and honestly, I would love to have played Dispatch, but I just don't feel like I have any fucking time, dude. I feel like I've been... Like, this Marvel news just doesn't stop. It's absolutely insane. And there's a lot of other things going on, too, in my life, but yeah. Lions game and Zootopia 2 Thanksgiving Day. Bianca, that sounds like an incredible Thanksgiving. That'll be great, man. Have you heard of the game Demon Souls? That's my shit right now. No, is that like a version of like a Souls game or whatever? I got a desk cycle for when I'm at work and knock out like 30 hours each day. It's been so convenient to work with it. Oh yeah, I know Charlie did some acting in there too. Yeah. Got a desk cycle for when I'm at work and knock out like 30 hours each day. It's been so convenient. Desk cycle. What's that mean? Like a card, like you have a raised desk or something? Is that what you're saying? This Deadpool VR game looks crazy. It is so fun, man. And I really do want to share it with you guys. I want to like show you what I'm talking about because it is fun, dude. And, you know, I said I will tell you, I'll probably revisit my thoughts on the game after I beat the game. But when I made the video about the game, what I had said was, if you already have this VR thing, it is a no-brainer must buy. If you are a huge Deadpool fan, like a super fan, like you've got a bunch of Deadpool swag and you're like about that life and you are interested in VR, I also think strong recommend to get the rig and get the game. Otherwise, like if you're not really into VR and you're not really into Deadpool or you're not really into gaming, I think the barrier to entry is just too high. I could not sit here and justify saying to people, buy the rig, get the game for the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's all worth it. But if there's other things that maybe you want out of VR and maybe you're just interested in VR as well, this is just one more feather in the cap of why the MetaQuest, I think, is the move, because it's an exclusive to them. So they knew what they had. They made it an exclusive, and it is fire. So, yeah, hopefully we can play a little tomorrow. That would be really, really fun. Did you see Deadpool VR got nominated for Best VR of the Year? I mean, I'm not a huge VR person, so like I'm gonna sound like just like a simp or a fanboy, but yeah, I think it deserves it. Do you think Sylvie could be the third female Lieutenant of Doom? Yes, I do. I've actually mentioned that a couple of times already. I think it's possible, yeah. Going to see Zootopia on Thanksgiving? That's the second person. So that movie might do well then, huh? Have you heard of Arc Raiders? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders, too. A lot of Arc Raiders, man. It's crazy phenomenon. I was hearing Warhammer. Josh thought it was only men in the game, included women. So now Warhammer, Disney's future. What the hell? What the hell, man? What the hell kind of, what are you even saying over there? And why are you saying it? Stop saying it. That Batman Arkham VR game looked great. Dude, that's the same people that did this game. I was there with like the devs and shit. So Deadpool's an upgrade, obviously. You know, it's the Batman game was their real big hit. That Batman game, I have heard incredible things. That's my next one. So I'm going to do the Deadpool VR. I'm going to get that Batman VR because, dude, when I was there with the people, they were like, this game was fire. A lot of them were already like really into VR and whatnot. So, yeah. Yeah. Zootopia going to be like a Billy? Maybe. I mean, it is apparently tracking really well internationally. So that's great. I was watching comedian Shane Gillis' podcast where he was talking about how much he loves playing Warhammer. Pretty sick. Yeah, so... Yeah. And I think Shane just understands, like, the base level appeal of it. And it's just like, bro, we're going to go conquer the stars in the name of the God Emperor with the bros. Like, it's so bro-coded. It's so awesome. It's so fun. It's just super masculine. It's unabashedly masculine. It's over the top, dude. You know, it's just... it's so fun. Stranger Things also comes out the same day as Zootopia. What? Is that true? Yo, I'm excited for that shit. I'm excited to check out Stranger Things, y'all. That's going to be dope. Shane's the man. I like Shane a lot. I think he is a wild boy, of course. But I think he's just he's a comedian. He's a wild comedian that was a part of some things that, you know, everybody was really hypersensitive to some stuff at a time when he was being super wild and whatnot. And yeah, but I think he's super funny. I like the Tire Show on Netflix. I like his YouTube content. Shane's pretty funny to me. Stranger Things finale is going to be a moment. Yeah, I'm really going to try to get us a sitter so that Elisa and I can go out and watch that movie in theaters. Doesn't it come out maybe New Year's Day? New Year's Eve? One of those, right? Did you hear John Pazenzo is doing the music for Zelda? I did not hear that. Yeah, that's interesting. If you can send me an article, like send me a DM with an article or something like that. That's really cool. New Year's? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. New Year's Eve? Oh, that's going to be dope. You know what's so wild about New Year's, though, for me, for the rest of my life? Because Athena was born on the 1st. So she's like a New Year's baby. So every New Year's, technically, we go from celebrating the New Year right into her birthday. So I'm kind of interested in how all that's going to work, you know? And, yeah. Big Nemesis says, I've been playing Space Marine 2 lately. Siege mode is dope AF. I had a blast with Space Marine 2. I played the multiplayer a lot. It really reminded me of a lot of Gears of War. It had that same kind of energy. Actually, me and my buddies got on there quite a bit as well. You know, the Siege mode, I tried it out. Maybe it's gotten better since I first tried it. I wasn't super impressed with it. But the thing that's awesome about Space Marine 2 is you can see how all those elements can be built upon and expanded for the third game. And if they crack that thing open the way I think they could, we could be looking at like a Halo 3 to Halo 2, where like, don't get me wrong, Halo 2 was incredible. But what Halo 3 was able to do, like, just pushed everything that 2 did as far as the multiplayer aspect. So, hell yeah, man. I'm really hopeful that the next Space Marine, because, and I think GW knows this because the Space Marine 2 game was such a big hit for them. I mean, that big video I made didn't blow up until after Space Marine came out. So obviously that drove a lot of traffic, people wanting to know more about Warhammer. They know it's a big deal. That's why they did the 500 Worlds. They're really heavily leaning into the Ultramarines. They know they got some with those games. And if the third game comes out and it reaches Halo 3 level, which would be almost impossible, but like if it really blows up way bigger than all the other games, I mean, that is a moment for Warhammer. That is a moment. So yeah, let's hope it happens. Do you think the Zelda movie can make $1 billion? Yes, I do. You know, we talked a little bit about Zelda throughout the week. I think Zelda is a great franchise. The lore is ripe for adaptation and really interesting adaptations. the sensibilities that we can see just from where they're shooting, the costumes, the casting, that kind of stuff, it seems like I can kind of see what they're cooking, and it feels like it's a Lord of the Rings level production, given that level of care. And if it is that, oh yeah, I think Zelda could do very well. Yeah. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how's the stream? How's the stream? Are we good? Was the reset a good idea? With all these things coming out next year, and next I feel like a prophecy is being fulfilled. I don't know what that means, but yes. Only played the OG Zelda. What's a good game to get? Dude, I mean, the classics are Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I mean, I think those two are like must play. They're so good. But people speak very highly of Wind Waker. I was a super big fan of Wind Waker. Twilight Princess, or maybe the one that came out before Twilight Princess was heralded very well. I kind of checked out from Zelda, so I can't speak to the more modern versions. Like, I know people like, what is it called? Windbreaker or whatever, the one that you can build stuff. People really like that one. Link's Awakening. Yeah, I've heard people say that's very good. But I love that Super Nintendo one, Trev. I think that game is way better than people give it credit for. But Breath of the Wild, okay. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, my favorite one is Majora's Mask, man. Windbreaker. Dude, yeah, I mean, y'all don't think they break wind in that shit? Listen. You never got that cutscene? All right, anyway. I think Majora's Mask is my favorite one. That shit is amazing, dude. And the temples were great. Collecting the masks was super fun. I mean, every mask basically came with a new mechanic, you know? So fun, so cool, so well designed. And then the fact that you could go collect all 50 masks and get the Gorgon mask or whatever, the giant mask, and literally go fight all the bosses as a goddamn giant was so cool. There's a timer on the game, and the moon is going to crash into Earth and everything's going to be destroyed, and you can literally experience it. So that's what's kind of fun about the game. You could do a save, and I bet everybody did this. Yo, throw a 1 into the chat if you did this exact thing in Majora's Mask. Got the Gorgon mask, turned into the Gorgon, and did the speed roll, and literally just rolled around Hyrule as the moon crashed in and you watched it all go up. Like, I'm telling you right now, a lot of us did that. And it was awesome. So, yeah, that game, dude, that game has some memories associated with it. So, yeah, and I think the thing that's cool about Zelda is everybody has, like, their game, their Zelda that they really liked. And it's just, what that means is, throughout time, the franchise has created different installments that have been able to meet different people and different generations and different fans. So I think there's a big base of people that really love Zelda. All right. I'm up here yapping, huh? Oh, I be up here yapping, huh? But let's talk. Let's yap about leaks. Let's talk about Avengers Doomsday. And let's ask the question, what the hell's going on with these photos, man? Okay, so chat, have you seen the photos? Have you seen what I'm talking about here? So there's oh man. Sometimes I'm like, what? I should not say as much as I say. I should not open my big, stupid, fat Polish mouth so often. But so there have been 2 series of photo leaks for Avengers Doomsday so far. And it appears one of them has come from the makeup department, and the other has come from the marketing department. So let's talk about this. Let's just get all up in this and discuss what is going on, okay? So the first series of leaks that came out, which were the ones that had the Toby stuff, I believe it had a Shuri, maybe it had RDJ Doctor Doom, all kinds of stuff like that. And there was some question as to whether they were real or not. And now, of course, we live in a world where AI generated images are so good, they're so high fidelity, that it's really hard to decipher whether or not things are real. So how many of you guys saw the Neil deGrasse Tyson video where he said he basically was a flat earther, and then they stopped the video and he came in and he said, yo, that wasn't me. Did you guys see that? So like, that's the level of fidelity that we're getting with AI image generation. So this has made these leaks kind of a hard thing to sort out, right? Is it real? Is it not real? And there have been leakers and scoopers every time one of these things happens that are on either side of that argument. And I think maybe by design, right? And so with that being said, let me try to explain what I think is going on. I've talked about this a little bit before, but ironically, this is actually something I did in the past. Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit of a story here. So around the time of Deadpool and Wolverine, and by the way, a lot of YouTubers were involved in this, but they don't want to talk about it for whatever reason, and that's fine. I'm not going to say anything that I shouldn't say, but I will say this. I'll just speak from my personal experience. Around the time of Deadpool and Wolverine, when there were those set photos with all those telephoto lenses where they were filming on the void in the desert, so there was a lot of photos there that a lot of accounts were using. I had put a few of those photos into my videos and whatnot. And there was something that happened where the journalistic outlets that had the paparazzi that was taking those photos had filed a copyright protection on those photos. And what that allowed them to do was contact YouTubers like me that had used those photos and basically say, hey, man, I just copy struck your channel, and I'm not going to take my copy strikes away unless you pay me a certain amount for the license to be able to use these photos. Now, in my mind, this is actually borderline like extortion. It's using the law and using YouTube's really crazy system to basically extort YouTubers into having to pay to keep their channels alive. And they got me, and they got many others. So what I did after this was I started to take these photos, even the Deadpool set photos, and I started to run them through AI. And I would use things like there's image blending, there's image touch-ups, there's all this other stuff. Okay. And I literally did this so that I couldn't get, I would not have the same situation happen again. Okay. And I actually think I wasn't the only person that realized that was a thing. Okay. And so the reason I'm saying that is that a lot of photos that get passed around behind the scenes at Marvel Studios, right? A lot of people that work in these different departments, the images they are given are digitally watermarked. So there's usually some part of the photo that has a marker on it that's maybe even unperceptible to the human eye. Okay. But it is a way for Marvel ultimately to be able to track down who and where these leaks are coming from. And dude, there's stuff I know about this that I literally will never be able to say. There's stuff I know that I will take to my fucking grave, especially around Spider-Man No Way Home. That's all I'll say. But I know how crazy Marvel can get as far as trying to track down individuals. Let's just say it like that, okay? And so I think a lot of these people, given the actual severity of what could come from leaking this stuff, I think these people have started to take the images that they've been given from Marvel that, again, probably have a digital footprint or a watermark, and I feel as though they are running them through AI. Now, they're not running them through AI to change them drastically. And in fact, there are ways to run images through AI that essentially just make them come out basically the same, you know? Except it is a fully new digitally created image with no watermarking whatsoever, right? So does everybody understand that? Is everybody following along with that part? And then we'll get into the images themselves, okay? Because I just really want to set the stage for you as far as what is happening, what could be happening, why do people think this is real, why do people think this is fake? So, chat, let's pause for just a moment. All this makes sense? All this makes sense? Okay, a couple of people saying yes, we're getting it. Okay, cool. So, with that in mind, let's go back to the makeup images. The makeup images had Toby. The makeup images had Doctor Doom looking just like this. The makeup images had a lot of different things. Gambit, Shuri, Thor. Okay. And so, dude, if what I think is happening, those images were fake, but accurate. Meaning, either somebody in the makeup department or somebody that the makeup department gave the images to ran them through AI to just alter them slightly, you know, to maybe throw Marvel off the scent, this, that, second, and the third. And that's why I believe that these images are accurate, even though they're fake. And we're going to go into some of the other ones here in a second because we're talking to makeup images, and we're going to get into the promo images. The promo images are even more crazy, okay? But before we get into that, look at this face. Chat, what do you think of this face? And also, I do want to point out that when we had that one image, like, oh man, I don't know what images I want to show from my personal collection, but when there was another image of this, and it was just the crease, right? And it was just some of the scarring, and I had a kind of a harsh reaction to that because I was like, this just looks so silly and not cool. But I also mentioned back then, I said, you know, it's possible that that's only the first step of the makeup, that's like the basics of the prosthetics, and then they're going to fill it in with a more horrifying, crazy looking face. Okay? And if it's something like this, I absolutely love it. And I think, you know, we heard Chris Gore say Phantom of the Opera, right? We heard Chris Gore say Universal Monsters. We heard him say they wanted Downey's face to be horrifying. Okay? And this, to me, fits the total bill. This, to me, feels like it's close enough to RDJ that he's going to be able to take off the mask and literally say, you know me, to people that knew the fake-ass Tony. And he's going to be able to do that. And yet also have this absolutely horrifying, instantly, like, we're going to feel bad for him kind of a vibe going on with his absolutely fucking wrecked face. Okay, so before we move on to the promo images, I just want to know, how do you feel about this for RDJ's Doctor Doom? I am leaning towards this being accurate, not 100% accurate, again, because it was probably run through AI, but generally speaking, I'm starting to believe this is what we're looking at here. Bro's out here face to face with Franklin looking like Freddy Krueger. Yeah, dead ass. And I think that's kind of cool. They should have given him one big eye like Quasimodo. Jesus Christ. What's that pic from? This is a pic that is going around the internet right now, and it is said to be a leak of what Robert Downey Jr. is going to look like. I love the look of it. I thought it was Christian Bale. He does look a little like Christian Bale here, yeah. I hate it. Cool Bear! Why? Why you hate it, huh? Better than him having nose scars? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. At least he still has a nose? Yeah, totally, that's fair. He looks like a zombie from a bad 70s Italian movie. Yeah, a little bit he does, huh? And also, too, you know what I would love? and I don't know that this is going to be the case, but you know what I would love is remember Mads Mikkelsen in Doc Strange 1. And remember how there was like the cracking of his eyes, and then there was like, it looked almost like the dark dimension was like in his skin or behind his skin. Bro, something like that. Something like that, where you would see, like, if these little cracks here have like fucking power cosmic or, you know, like a universe or something, like, dude, that to me is like, that would be primo, right? But even if it was just this, I do like it, yeah. Why, if he's so powerful, can't he fix himself? That's a great question. You know, Rob from Comics Explained, shout out to Rob, did an incredible video talking about why Reed Richards can't fix the Fantastic Four. And it's actually very similar to why Victor cannot fix his own face. It's like, what's the potential of Victor Von Doom? What's the potential of Reed Richards? Unlimited. Unlimited. But it is their human flaws that hold them back. So deep inside, at a subconscious level, Reed doesn't know if he'll make it worse. He's so afraid, and he can't even admit it, but he's so afraid that he's going to do a 2.0 on the accident, that he's subconsciously holding himself back from being able to do it. And the same might be true of Victor. And I think ultimately, like, you know, this idea is explored in Secret Wars in some really subtle ways, the Hickman run, and perhaps it'll be explored in the MCU as well. But like that, my explanation is like, the potential for these characters is unlimited, but their nurture, the choices, the experiences, their traumas have made them limited. It's Josh's face at 80 years of many years of YouTube. Yeah, this is me. This is me in like 50 years, especially if nobody else has jobs and yet I'm somehow required to still be streaming and doing YouTube. I'm going to deadass look like this for sure. What up, kiddo? Chances this look means the same destroyed Tony Stark that had died post-snap. So I think maybe yes, but it would be Victor. So imagine the Infinity Saga, and yet, let's say Tony discovered that he was actually a Victor Von Doom, like hella early, and embraced it. So that by the time they're fighting Thanos in Endgame, or by the time they're, you know, doing whatever, he's Victor Von Doom. And he's accepted he's Victor Von Doom, right? So I actually think that's something we might see, right? But well, you know, who knows? Who knows? I'm speculating, right? By the way, I don't know that this is real, but I think some people know that it's real. And I think those people are watching right now and they're like, where the fuck did he get this photo at? But it's out there. Like, it's literally out there. Like, I'm not, trust me, I'm holding a lot back. I'm only saying stuff that's like starting to come out, right? So just chill, you know? Expand on that, please. What do you mean? Expand on what part? But all the scars came on the owner's side, the other side of the face. Maybe, yeah, maybe. That's a fake photo. Maybe. You're saying he knew he was Doom in Endgame? I think he knew he was Doom in Endgame, yeah. Well, meaning he knew he was a Doctor Doom variant. He was biologically Victor Von Doom, and it actually makes the line, I am Iron Man, make a lot more sense. Yeah. Okay, should we get into some of the other photos here? I think we've sort of lingered on this one with Doom for long enough. It is obviously a super freaking big deal, so wanted to put that on the screen for you. Give me just a moment here as I start to pull in some other shit. John Solo says, what you think we'll see in the Doomsday trailer? Well, there's a leaked description for the trailer. We don't know if it's real, but we will go over it later on in the stream. So stay tuned. Quip Proco says, this is fine. Just put on the mask and look cool. Yeah, I agree with that. My wonder is, however, he's showing to translate snarky Tony to serious AF Doom. Yeah. What if that moment with his dad piqued his curiosity? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I think you're on something there, yeah. The Gambit photo is fire. It is fire. So let's get into some of these promo images. So I want to explain this. I want to explain what I think is going on here. Guys, I hope you understand that you need to take everything I say with a grain of salt. Even the scoops, even the theory from yesterday, the big video, all the stuff. We don't know, okay? I'm trying my best to make sense of it and make cool content, but ultimately I could be way fucking wrong, and just understand that is a possibility, okay? So let's start looking at this. Now, I want to explain what these are, if they are real, okay? And again, we're going to talk about how they could be fake but accurate. What a world. These appear to me to be promotional photos. The other leaks were makeup, the makeup department. These appear as promo photos. Now, why do I say that? Well, it is because they're shooting these on all white backgrounds, and they're shooting these flat. Okay, what that means is it's just a very basic exposure, very flat lighting. It's white balance to like a very white neutral tone. And the reason you do something like that is so that when you apply visual effects on top of it, it is a lot easier to have a uniform look over everything. So what I think is going on here is they got all the big characters to come and shoot in front of this white screen with very flat lighting. And then what they would do from this is remove these images, remove these foreground characters, and perhaps apply a green glow over top of them. You will recall, of course, that for Infinity War, and maybe for Endgame as well, there were various posters where you had, Cap, and it was all purple. And do you remember these photos? Where do you think they get the base photos to do those kind of promotional images? It's from shoots like this. So what I think is going on, and take it all, with a grain of salt, and let's make sure we know that I'm not telling you I 100% know this. I'm speculating. It's informed speculation that could be proven correct, but let's just try to be as accurate as possible here. What I think is going on is they took all these actors in costume, made them look as absolutely incredible as possible. And that includes digital effects, by the way, because, one thing that we've known for some time, and this was a story, chat, somebody help me and pull this up. Trev, you'd probably be able to pull this up. Maybe Adam would as well. De-aging technology, right? I mean, that's all the rage. But for years and years and years before de-aging was really popular, they were doing like sort of looks maxing. And so a lot of the Marvel actors would literally pay $100,000, and then they'd have a digital effects studio literally put a filter over every single frame of every single part of the film to make them look a little bit better. This was real. And a lot of the Marvel actors did this, like that we know because they paid for it and shit, right? So there's, I just want you to know that because there's digital touching that goes over top of even the actual physical performance. And I think that should be obvious, right? Like that should be obvious to everybody, but let's see if anybody can find an exact article that can break that down. Maybe you guys are not interested in sending the link, but like that's a thing, right? So you got to keep these things in mind when you're breaking this down. So I say flat like your wings, you son of a gun. So I say that to say it is possible. What happened was they took the actual actors, they shot them in front of the actual white lighting and flattening, and then they digitally touched them up in the same way they're going to be digitally touched up in the film. Okay? That's just a thing. So the reason some of their faces and their bodies might look a little different than what you would expect is because it's literally a Snapchat filter. Okay? That's one option. That's one possibility. The other option, the other possibility, and this is probably more likely, is that these are basically as close to real photos as they could be. But once again, the people that are leaking these take these photos and digitally alter them with AI ever so slightly to avoid being tracked down by Marvel Studios and getting in copyright trouble. Okay, so that's like all the different things that could be going on here. But let's just look with all of that in mind, let's actually just look through the photos and have fun. Because again, I don't know that they're real. I'm kind of leaning on them being accurate. Hey, Trev, my man. As far back as 11 years ago. Okay, yeah. So this is, we'll do a small side tangent here. 11 years ago, the secret Hollywood procedure that has fooled us for years. Hollywood has always been carefully guided with the vanity, magic tricks, diet pills, plastic surgery, Botox, pretty little secrets before they were accepted norm. But the entertainment industry's latest glamour miracle, a technique so effective that nearly every movie star has started using it, has stayed underground for more than a decade. It's called beauty work. It's a digital procedure of sorts in which a handful of skilled artists use highly specialized software in the final stages of post-production to slim, de-age, or enhance actors' faces and bodies. This is a version of the on-screen star that we know the audience will see. And if this comes at any surprise, it's because the first rule of beauty work is don't talk about the beauty work. So once again, just kind of getting you some info here that maybe otherwise might not have. And we do that on the goddamn regular. So like and subscribe. But just consider that as a potential reason as to why some of this stuff looks funky. Okay, let's just try to have fun, though, here, huh? Let's just try to have fun here. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Oh, my goodness, this looks incredible. The suit looks like Tobey's suit, but somewhat upgraded. I mean, they're picking out all these little variants of color in the red that is just really doing it for me. It looks perfectly slimmed and tailored, which is also probably the beauty work digital touch-up thing. He looks like he's incredible shape, maybe the best shape of his life. He looks Giga Chad as hell and ready for action. So, dude, I'm loving this look for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, yo. Like, dude, if this is really what we're going to get in Doomsday, we're really going to deadass get Tobey looking like this in the classic suit, doing his thing. Holy shit. So chat real quick, just tell me, what do you think of that? You agree? You don't, you disagree? I'm quite excited about the look here for Tobey. What do you guys think? I want his character to be a dad. Yeah, that would be cool. Absolutely. It would be cool if his character was a dad. He looks better than he looked in No Way Home. I 100% agree with you. And I think he should. By the way, Daniel RPK has recently been saying that Doomsday is going to be even better looking than all the other Russo brothers Marvel films. That's almost hard to believe, but Abgo is so good with their technology and their rendering and their ability to work with VFX studios. So I truly think they've been cooking it. And another reason that they might have been cooking so much is, do you guys recall the story where Kevin was talking about how he actually went to Gareth Edwards and asked Gareth Edwards specifically, like, how are you able to keep your budget so low and have these big visual effects? And Feige literally said that they were able to cut like 20, 30, $40 million out of the budget of the last 3 Marvel movies, partially because of this. And if you read further into his comments, one of the ways to do this was to lock early. Right. So like you come up with some sort of keystone sequences, some keystone moments that need rendered, and you lock it super early. And Marvel has been doing that. I mean, I think the Marvel movies have been looking a lot better. I don't know about you guys. Quantumania was goobly glob. No Way Home in theaters was a mess, but they've really tightened that up and sharpened it. So it's kind of interesting, right? And you're hearing that they're tightening it up and that this movie's maybe going to look better than ever. So like, again, I just want to say that as we prepare for this and as we're like, oh my God, Tobey looks great, brother, it's not just that it looks great here. It's that all indicators are this thing is going to look incredible on the screen. Okay. So let's talk about Sue here. I mean, obviously a little touched up. Is that the beauty work stuff? Is that the AI? I'm not really sure. One thing I'll say about this suit is that this feels accurate to me. Because remember the photo of Pedro. Pedro had a photo where there was a book he was reading. I forget what the book was, but beyond the book, you could see the threading and the material of his suit. And if you zoom like crazy in here on Sue, that you can kind of see, you see how, I hope you can see this. It's a little blurry, but you can see how this is a different material and threading than the sort of sweater and the material of the sweater that they had in the other film. This to me lines up with what I expect after seeing the photo. This is a really good looking shot of it here. That is basically the exact same material and layout that we had on the photo of Pedro. Okay, so dude, again, like, brother, we're just on that shit over here. Like, you know what I mean? And we're pulling the stuff together. But going back to the look here, what do you guys think? What do you think of Sue Storm here, man? I think she's looking great. Yeah, what do you think, chat? Pretty crazy, huh? Windbreaker too. Nice. Mm-hmm. She can get it. Oh, Jesus. I mean, absolutely. You know, anytime she wants. But also, let's be respectful. Yeah. She looks good, man. She looks good. Yeah. Okay, great. So she's breaking wind, and honestly, we'd breathe it in like a bong rip. Okay. Anyway, let's keep moving here. Now, this next one is I don't know. I mean, it's maybe one of the least believable ones to me, but it could absolutely still be real. This is, of course, Brie Larson. And, you know, a couple of different things going on here. I mean, you know, Gary from Nerdrock said, no Captain Marvel in the movie. Right. And I said, even when he reported that, I was like, dude, it sounds too good to be true. Like, I can't believe this because I think she might be in the thing. And I think a lot of scoopers feel as though she's in the thing too. And so here's a potential option for you. It is possible Brie Larson is absolutely in this movie, and she's going to shoot the lion's share of her footage for it in the beginning of next year when they go back to do additional photography. But it is also possible that she came and she showed up for the promotion. Because, again, they want to promote all throughout next year, right? So it's possible she came in, got fitted, suited up, and did the promotion. Recently, she did post a photo on about voting and said, don't mind the blonde hair. And so there was kind of like a little tease that maybe she had been showing up as Brie, or as Carol. Here's another thing that's really interesting. And, man, we just let it all out here, don't we? The Russos are famous for shooting with body doubles and stunt doubles. Okay, so do you remember the story? There was a story that came out. I think Roca and Snyder were talking about this, and they were sort of dogging on this rumor they heard that they shot for 3 weeks and there was a body double and Downey was off camera, but they were trying to make something work with a body double, and then they didn't work, so they went back and shot it all. Well, I mean, that's because they're shooting with body doubles and stunt people like pretty regularly. It's a very common thing for them. They shot almost all of Civil War without Tom Holland, and they had a Spider-Man on set that was doing Spider-Man stuff. Okay, so they had a body double that was shooting Spider-Man shit the whole time, and then they finalize the deal. They get Tom, and I think he only filmed for like a couple of weeks on that thing, right? So you have to understand the process of the Russos so that you understand what is possible. You know what I mean? But with all of that being said here, I like the look. I mean, I liked this suit, at least from the Marvel's movie. The Marvel's movie is, I think, pretty terrible, but the suit itself, not bad. I think the battle damage on it is awesome. And I will also say that the Russos did so much better with Captain Marvel than basically any other people. I mean, she's used sparingly, but effectively in those two movies, bro. Like, I'm telling you, and I'm not the biggest fan of what Marvel and the MCU has done with Carol, obviously. And I know, you know, Brie had her thing, and she, you know, obviously foot and mouth syndrome, and was, you know, caught the ire of a lot of fans for a long, long time. But I'm not against Captain Marvel being in this movie. And in fact, like, the thing that that kind of just keeps popping up into my mind, the thing that I keep saying to myself is like, dude, but it's the Russos. I mean, the Russos literally cook better than anybody. I like the Russos T'Challa better than any other T'Challa. I like the Russos Spider-Man better than basically any other version of Spider-Man. I liked what the Russos did with Bucky. You know what I mean? Like, just way more than what other people, like, dude, they are built for this. So if they come in, if Kevin really wants a future for Brie Larson as Carol, then these two movies with the Russo brothers are the best opportunity ever to sort of rehabilitate the character and hopefully push her along. Having said that, I still don't know how involved she will be. There is a rumor that a Captain Marvel will survive into Battleworld, but frankly, I mean, that could be Carol, that could be Monica, that could be Maria from a different universe. Like, brother, there's a lot going on here. So, you know, we really don't know. Hey, Star Wars Sith, man, I really appreciate it, brother. That's a very generous $50 holla. Did you add an extra number? You can charge it back if you need to. Josh, I appreciate the content so much lately. You legit been killing it, bro. So hyped for Doomsday Secret Wars and love catching the lives on replay and the vids or covering it. Keep crushing it, you handsome man. Oh, I appreciate it. That's very kind of you, sir. Yeah, I mean, I take the job seriously, which is so funny because it's such a weird job. I'm a professional nerd, right? But I take it seriously. I like to try to be as clear and as informative as I can to my audience. I also understand that I can't just make RDJ Doom videos for the rest of time. And I'm working on adding angles and elements and interesting idea. Like the ideas of a YouTube channel are what make or break the YouTube channel ultimately. And we are cooking with some really fun ideas. Obviously, I'm still making, some low effort stuff that works here and there because you have to play the game. But I'm trying to get in a position where I can put out work I'm actually proud of, man. And I ultimately would love, and I don't know that this is possible, but what I would love is to be able to be proud of every facet of the work. Meaning I get on a stream and I feel like I cooked. I cut the clips out and I'm like, damn, those clips, pretty good. I had some good takes. I edit the video together and I'm like, wow, great high concept, incredibly edited narrative. That's a great video. And if I get to that point where I'm actually like proud of everything, I think the numbers take care of themselves. I truly believe that. Now, it's not exactly like that because you do have to be engaged with like what the algo wants, what the audience wants, right? But the point remains that I feel very good about everything that's happening, and I feel as though I'm making great content. And the next 2 years are going to be crazy. And brother, I went through all this bullshit. I've been covering Marvel and Star Wars as they fell the fuck off, almost destroyed themselves completely. So like, I'll be damned if I'm not gonna like do my thing, get excited and get, everybody hyped up when it feels like they're actually finally doing some shit that's gonna blow our fucking minds. So I'm feeling really, really good. And also I can't wait till you get into Warhammer, man. Okay, let's keep going. Appreciate the 50. All right, so far, so good, chat. Let's keep it going here. We have this image of Simu. I think it looks great. We don't get to see too much of it here. There were some makeup images as well with him, and I think he looks good. He kind of looks like he did, in his film. I think Simu has trimmed down slightly, although, as we've just mentioned, it could be the beautification filters. But I think he's looking good. And look, man, Simu's kind of a wild cat, right? He says some stuff that's maybe a little politically inciting, and people feel differently about some of the takes that he has had. And I totally understand that. When Simu was first cast, man, I got so excited because I think he's a great actor. All jokes aside, all cockbockery aside, I think he's got chops, man. Like, I think and I said this before, but I think he has some of that RDJ energy. Like, he's very good, and I think he can play. And one of the things I'm actually most excited about for Doomsday, sort of like on the low, is that Downey is the fucking GOAT. But one of the things that makes him the GOAT is he understands the art form, and he pulls from the people he works with incredible performances. Oh my goodness, man. I've heard so many stories of things that were going on. And like, just one example of this was Downey took Tom Holland and they worked together privately for like over 2 weeks on that scene in Civil War when Tony first meets him. And he sort of took the kid under his wing. They really kind of like worked it out and did a lot. But then one of the things Downey will do is you'll do all that prep work, all that, script reading and practicing lines. And then like after 4 takes, Downey will be like, let's take it completely in a different direction. Let's don't do the lines, but let's do the scene. And then they like get organic. And some of the best shit in Marvel was from that, where like they're like even stuff with him and Hulk, Mark, right? Like I've heard stories that like they would do that and then it'd be like take 5, take 6. And then they'd be like, we're not doing the lines, we're doing the scene. And there's like a magic that can happen there. Y'all ever seen Birdman? Birdman is one of my favorite movies, and it's just this really brilliant production. But one of the things, there's this scene where Ed Norton and Michael Keaton are doing lines You know, not not those kind of lines, but they're doing lines on the stage. And there's this moment where they just find it, and there's this magic, and kudos to the director because he's really able to capture what is like a stage phenomenon in camera for this film. But like there's this thing that happens with actors where they can kind of find this thing and they tap into this energy, and there's like this really cool thing that can happen. And Downey's really good at that. So like to take it all the way back to Simu is I'm looking forward to seeing Simu in this environment with this level of talent and with Robert Downey Jr. sort of leading the way. I really think he's a great actor. Okay. Again, you know, a bit controversial, a lot of different things there, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see Simu in these films. What do you guys think about this? What do you think of the look? There's not too much to say about Simu here, huh? Hollywood loves hitting the ski slopes. Dude, did you guys see somebody used AI to turn the Coca-Cola commercial into actual Coke commercial? It is the funniest thing in the world. I was about to share it on the timeline, and I thought better of it because I was like, I'm never going to beat these fucking allegations because I think this shit is so funny. But it's really funny. You should check it out. Good shoulders? Yeah, he's got good shoulders. Hell yeah, good shoulders. I like that. If you think about it, RDJ could possibly be a dude pretending to be another dude. Dude? Yeah, that might be what it is, huh? That might be what it is, though. Okay. Here we go. Let's get into the next one here. Mr. Stephen Strange. Mr. Doctor. Dr. Mr. Kind of an interesting one here. Benedict Cumberbatch here looks a little like almost blotchy. I wonder if that's intentional to sort of show a passing of time. Because I think it is. You notice the hair grade a lot more. And the word is that because time works differently in the dark dimension, that the last time we saw Stephen and he went with Clea into the dark dimension to stop incursions, that was a long time ago. From the perspective of the people in 616, it might only be a year, maybe 2 or 3 or something, right? But from his perspective, from Stephen's perspective, it could be hundreds of years. It could be thousands of years. And we're going to talk about the leaked trailer in a bit here and whether or not that description is real. But in that trailer, it describes a scene, or I guess a flash of a scene, where Stephen is walking in a dark corridor, and in the background behind him, 2 universes are colliding. Okay. And so what I think is going on is this Steven's seen some shit. Like, dude, this brother has seen some shit. And it's really funny because everybody else seems so polished, right? Everybody else seems so polished. And Steven looks like he has seen some shit. Oh, you're asking about the third eye? I mean, I don't really have an explanation for that. I would assume the third eye is still there. It just only opens up perhaps when he's really excited to be around Clea or something. I don't know. You know, what is that, a puberty thing? I'm not sure. But yeah, I would assume the third eye thing is still there. It's just not here on the promotion and whatnot. Yeah. So what else do you guys make of this? What do you think about Steven? What do you think about these gray hairs? You know, Steven getting a little bit older, you know, maybe he needs some peptides, you know, a little HRT or something. Clea ate his third eye. Oh shit. Okay. So Strange may have already set up the swans running around Clea. Maybe, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that's possible. If that's true, then I would imagine he would be at the peak of his power level. Yes, I would agree with that. I think he would be incredibly powerful at this point. Yeah. Didn't the Discussing Film Parody account post these? I'm actually not sure. They very well could have. The third eye is camera shy. Yeah, that could be. That could be. Yeah. Interesting. Clea sat on his face so much the forehead eye popped. Jesus Christ. All right, we're moving right along here. Shout out the chat. Keeping it unhinged as always. Woo! Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, yeah. Loki. God of Stories Loki. Or is it Avengers Prime Loki? Or is it both? Interesting here. Now, this is very similar to the look of Loki that he had at the end of season 2. I think it is slightly different, though. I think the crown is slightly adjusted. And I like this crown, dude. I like this crown. Like, yo, this shit looks good. So, yeah, I'm really interested here. I mean, we all assume Loki's a very big part of this film. The power of Loki is likely the thing that Doom is seeking. Maybe just one of the things Doom is seeking, but absolutely seeking. Loki, it would appear, holding the multiversal tree together has created more branch timelines than ever existed in the multiverse. And so therefore, there's maybe more variants of many different characters than maybe we'd ever seen. And that will come into play in the film in the third act, potentially. Loki also seems to have some scenes in the middle of the film, maybe with Peggy Carter, maybe with Steve Rogers, maybe with Dr. Doom himself. So pretty interesting stuff going on here. We definitely knew Loki was going to be a part of this. This is a slightly different look, but pretty similar to what we have had before. So any questions, any thoughts, any ideas, anything come to mind when you look at Loki here, chat? What do you think? I'm the Doom playing the Doom that's playing another Doom. That could be accurate. I don't know. Tony Stark clip reel from Marvel on X got me. Yeah, they're definitely teasing some stuff, huh? Yeah, they absolutely are teasing some stuff. How would Doom know about Loki and where he's at? Well, I would assume it's connected to the memories of the Prime Universe and potentially the very first actual multiversal war. So it's possible Doom will uncover some memories of the real version of the Marvel Universe that existed before He Who Remains took it over. And if he accesses those memories, he could access memories all the way to the point at which He Who Remains used the power of Alioth and isolated the sacred timeline and made it all different, right? So that's maybe part of what I think is going on there, but we'll see. My name is Doom. Yeah. Hell yeah. You think Doctor Strange dies in Secret Wars like in the comics? Well, maybe, but I think he'll come back. I mean, Doc Strange 3, we just got reports on that the other day from Nexus Point News. I mean, it seems as though that is going to go into production after Secret Wars. Benedict Cumberbatch is heavily involved in it. So yeah, I think you're getting a lot more. I think Benedict's going to stick around in the reset or the reboot. Absolutely. Couldn't he theoretically project himself to other multiverse since he's the one holding all of it together? We don't really know the full extent of what Loki is able to do. It is very possible he could get off of the chair. It's also possible he has variants of himself that he can get off the chair, maybe even ones that we've met in the void. There's a lot that could be going on. Mobius could know his, plan. There's a lot of different ways they could do it. Zach says, it's no use, Victor. I'm the god of stories. Doom. Story time's over, bitch. Yeah. Well, did you guys know that in the Agents of Asgard run, God of Stories Loki is literally captured by Doctor Doom? And it's base power Doctor Doom. Let me find this for you. Doctor Doom captures God of Stories Loki. Base Doom does this. And I try to tell people how powerful Doom is. And people are just like, they don't get it. Doom is so powerful. He can solo at base level most other verses. So here's the panel here. God of Stories Loki, shifting all around the time-space continuum, slipping in and out of this, that, second, and the third, having a good old freaking time, and base level Doom. Base level Doom captures him and stops the shenanigans. Now, ultimately, they end up working together. I think he frees Loki and allow him to go do some stuff or whatever. But, the point I'm making is, dude, this is in comics. This precedence has been set, So, yeah, that's an interesting take there. Interesting idea, for sure. Doom doing lines? I mean, why not? Okay. Shall we go to the next one? Any other thoughts on Loki here? And by the way, chat, if you find other ones that I'm missing, let me know. But let's first get through all the other ones. Let's talk about this Gambit here. Now, look, man, a lot of people are saying this is fake because it doesn't look like Chan. Do you think that? Do you think that? Justin, you son of a bitch, dude. Oh my God. This Doom slander will not. And that's why I'm excited they're doing it, dude. Because, like, you guys got to learn. You got to learn today about Doom. Man, it's never going to be the same. Everybody's going to be a Doom fan after this shit. And I've been trying to tell y'all for years. Everybody's going to be a Doom one. Looks the exact same as Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's a much better costume. But I'll break it down. I'll talk about it in a second. Kang is better. I definitely need a couple days off. Hey, I wonder where this migraine's coming from. I wonder what's going on in my brain parts. Holy. Way slimmer and looks like actual Gambit. I absolutely agree, Darian. And so let me just yap about this. Let me talk about this. So a couple of things come to mind here. I think it's one of those situations where maybe this is the glow up Snapchat filter thing, the secret thing that we talked about. Maybe that's what's going on here. This could also be the AI. The AI, maybe this is a real photo that was run through AI, and that's where we get some of these looks, the changes here. I think this is Chan, dude. I think this is Chan, and I think this is the Russo brothers and Abgo doing a much better job in the costuming department. You would imagine that him coming back for Gambit and doing that was a relatively quick thing, shoot it fast, get it turned around. And I mean, he was pretty big in my opinion. I thought he was a bigger Gambit, 100%. I mean, Chan's a big dude, and he was I don't know, what did he weigh there? 230, 240, 250? He's a big guy, right? So one of my criticisms of it was he was a little bit of a sort of heavier set Gambit, to be honest with you. Now he moved, to his credit. He's got that magic Mike energy, and he could move and groove and was dancing around, and the cards and all the shit was good. But I didn't buy him completely as Remy, because Remy's this scrappy, skinny Cajun that used to have to steal food to survive. So, I've always thought of Gambit as he's just scrappy. You know what I mean? He just feels like a scrappy, skinny dude. You know what I mean? So, a couple of things could be going on here. I think Chan probably trimmed down. I think he literally did trim down because, hey, look, man, you get the opportunity to cook with the Russos on a character you never thought you were going to play, and people are fucking with you. Hell yeah, that's some incredible energy. And I think he took that energy and he really worked hard at it. Dude, he loves Marvel. He loves this character. And oh my God, what an opportunity for him, okay? So I think maybe that's part of it. He took it really seriously, which, by the way, dude, do you know how much he's been talking about this movie? He has been shouting to the rooftops about how epic this is going to be, right? So I think Chan actually dropped some weight, which I just want to say too. We joke, we have fun and all that, but dude, respect. Respect. Dude, that's not easy for anybody. It's definitely not easy at his age to slim down like that. And I'm reminded of the Robert Pattinson thing, not to totally shit on him or whatever, but he came out and did this whole thing about how he's not going to work out. James Dean didn't work out, this, that, second, and the third. Dude, part of the performance is the physicality. And I think if you respect the character and you respect the audience, you want to remove every barrier. You want to suspend all the disbelief, and the physicality matters. That's a part of it. So whenever an actor or a character makes an actual physical transformation, we all remember Christian Bale and him going up to 225 all the way down to 160 from Batman to the Machinist, and and then he goes all the way up for the Dick Cheney role. Dude, that's sacrifice. That's cashing that check. You know what I mean? And so if this is real and he actually did lose this weight, respect. I think the other thing that's going on here is just better costuming. I think that you might be surprised at how much of this mask is hiding parts of Channing Tatum's face in a way that wasn't done in Deadpool and Wolverine. I think the loose fitting parts of this suit, the collar, the vest itself, maybe even the duster, I think that is actually operating to create a better visual fidelity and a similarity to Remy. I think it's all coming together. And I got to say that this dude's been talking about how the Russos didn't want him to go full Cajun and they wanted it to be serious. That this movie has to be serious and this performance has to be serious. And I'm getting pretty excited. I'm getting pretty excited about the possibility that this is real and that Channing Tatum is actually going to give us like a Gambit with an edge and a Gambit that feels more accurate than the one from Deadpool and Wolverine. And then maybe there's a future, dude. Maybe there's a future. Maybe there's exiles. Maybe I'm really happy. I'm hoping this is real. And I think it's a really good look. So anyway, I'm yapped enough about that. What do you guys think about Gambit here? What do you think about Gambit? Then we'll keep going. Now let's see if he can move as fast and acrobatic as Remy. Yeah, I mean, he was already cooking, I thought, in Deadpool and Wolverine. But yeah, turn it up. Great video yesterday, Josh. Thank you, J-Man. I'm glad you liked it, bud. I hope we can understand him this time. The accent sent me. Yeah, dial it back a little bit. I mean, he literally spoke to that already. I think they will dial it back, but yeah. Can you show the Gambit look from Deadpool and Wolverine? Sure, that's a good idea. Oh, you know what? I'll save the image here so I can pull it up for you. Oh, you know what I'll do? We open it actually, and then I can overlay it so we can get a comparison. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Let me. Okay. So, what's the main thing? I mean, he's just so big here. He's just very broad. And also, like, as somebody that wears 2XLs, it's like it's back muscle. It's like a lot of just heftiness that then causes like a look like this. You know what I mean? And the mask itself. I mean, again, you know, the mask is sort of trying to drive in this look of like the cheekbones and things of that nature. But I think Chan was just like a little heavier, you know? Yeah. Does that make sense? Do you guys hearing him? You hearing what I'm saying? You lean more on AI? Absolutely could be. Absolutely could be. Yeah. I think it's Chan. I think it's him. I think it's him. But we'll see. You can tell it was a quick addition. He didn't really have time to get in shape. I agree. I think that's what it is. Yeah. He's definitely more athletic weight than he was before. Yeah, and we know that even from because he posted photos of like I think he was training with Simu and stuff like that. So yeah, not a full AI, just an AI touch up or Photoshop by Marvel. Yeah, that could be what it is as well. Yep. Okay, chat. Want to keep going? I think it's time. I think it's time to do just 2 more. Actually, 3 more. Let's start with this one, which is actually not for Doomsday. But the reason I want to show you this is because this is confirmed to be real. This is real. So, does this remind you of any other images you might have seen today? Yeah, this is already officially confirmed. And it's incredible. I mean, holy shit. They look great. It's the same, but different. Why are they both in black though? Well, technically, he's in like dark blue and purple, but yeah, they're both. I think the show is going to evoke darkness. Darkness. Okay, let's do two more. Let's do two more because there's not much I want to say about that. But hey, check this out. What do you think about this one? Have you heard of this character? What a character, huh? Yeah. You know what this look tells me? Fuck you, Bob Iger. That's what it tells me. Okay, now last one. This looks pretty AI touched up, doesn't it? This looks pretty AI touched up to me. This was the one that when I saw it, I was like, yeah, somebody ran this through AI because one of the things the AI has a lot of trouble with is the Doom mask, I've noticed. Because I've been doing a lot of this stuff too, yeah. So I think this is accurate, but fake. But I mean, it's so close to like what we know he's going to look like. Like the chainmail is real. He's got the same kind of like bands and things here. You can even see the Captain Marvel star on the one like pauldron thing here. The texture of the cape seems right, but then it kind of almost seems different up top, right? So again, I think there's AI stuff going on here, or maybe just the touch up from Marvel, right? But pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting. I mean, I think this is, again, even if it's not real per se, I think it's accurate to what the look is going to be. And that's a damn good look. That's a damn good looking Doom. You know what I mean? That's a damn good looking Doom. So I think this is what we're basically going to be looking at. And again, I think what's going on with all these promo images is they shot it all on a flat, lighting so that they can pull it out and put all the posters out there. And we will see next year if we see posters, right? Because you remember the Infinity War posters and the Endgame posters? Let me see here. Let me see if I can show you what I mean here. Do you remember? Do you remember all the photos like this? So what this is a flat image that was shot against a white background with flat lighting that was then pulled out and put into a background and a filter in order to make a promotional image. And so if this is what we're looking at here with Marvel, we're going to know probably within the next couple of months as they start to drop these posters. Maybe they drop them all around the time of Spider-Man for San Diego Comic-Con, not really sure. But again, the timing would track that these are real. And if they're not real, something real is happening that is probably very similar. So yeah, that's the first part of today's stream, guys. Just going over the images. Wanted to kind of fully explain what all that was. Chat, what do you think of all this? And then I think it's time we talk about the leaked trailer. And then maybe we'll call it. To me, it's real because it seems like all these pics came from Marvel production, whether AI, Photoshop, or what have you. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards as well. Doom looks like a Karen. Oh no! If the images are real, wouldn't they be taken down like Doomsday and Secret Wars concept art leaks? So, okay, two things. Number one, do you think that there's no copies of those leaks out there anymore? Like, dude, they're out there. Marvel's not copy striking anybody for those leaks. That's not what happened. So that's kind of like number one. But number two, if they're using AI to make new digital images based off of the real images, I don't know that Marvel can do anything about that. You know what I mean? Like, what are they going to do? I think the Marvel leaked stuff on purpose. I mean, yeah, obviously Marvel leaked stuff on purpose. But I don't know that this is one of those things. You know, the Doomsday and Secret Wars and like all of that promotion and everything that's going on with that, it's going to be interesting to me because like the Russos have kind of entered the world now where leaks are really prevalent, and I'm sure they're already kind of adjusting to that. Because, you know, when they were in their heyday, leaks were not really like this. And although there were accurate leaks for Endgame and there were accurate leaks for Infinity War, less people knew about them and they weren't as widely shared, right? So, yeah, pretty interesting. Let's talk about the WB sale. I mean, I could talk about the WB sale briefly. Here, let me bring a thing up here, okay? Actually, I think I have it bookmarked. Shoo. Okay. Yeah, let me just I'll give you one little take on it. I guess, what do you guys think of what's going on with the leaks, man? Or with Warner Brothers? Like, where are you guys at with it before I get into this statement and kind of give you my take? No one said anything about Warner Brothers? I read it, bro. Yeah. Daniel, that's actually an interesting idea. So I'm kind of that mind as well, where it's like, yeah, it seems as though leaks are a part of this thing. And I wonder if the studios are starting to realize that and potentially control how the leaks are disseminated. Yeah. The leaks are intended to keep us interested. Yes, I agree. I think that is correct. Anyone but Paramount, please. Okay, how about this? Let's do an experiment. Everybody give me your hot take right now in chat about the Warner Brothers situation. Who do you want to buy it? What do you hope happens? Give me the hottest of hot takes that you've got about this. And then we'll read over it and I'll give you what I think's going on. Everyone's saying, we are living in the worst timeline regarding the WB sales. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of that, yeah. Snyderverse is coming back. That's a hot take. Need Netflix to buy Warner Brothers. That's a hot take. Whatever it takes to get the Snyderverse back. I mean, I agree, but there's people out there freaking out that we're enjoying this moment, by the way. We're a Saudi Arabia channel now. Oh, geez. Channing looks like a CW character. What? I want Apple to buy them. No Saudis. Interesting. Saudis save the Snyderverse. Dude, the duality of man. Saudi would. No more Coke and Pepsi. What? Paramount makes great stuff. I say they let them have it. I don't care about politics, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Yeah, these are some hot takes. Yeah. Man, people are really, like, I said on Twitter yesterday, I think, this is a tale for the ages, man. This is a story for the ages. I've never seen such obvious narrative building using journalistic outlets. I've never seen so many power plays, subtle shots. Like, this is just such a wild story, and the parties involved, it's very crazy, very high stakes, and I'm not sure what the truth of all of it is. But I'm going to read this here. This guy is works in the trades, pretty informed opinions, I believe, here. Okay, so this is what Nick says. The Warner Bros. Discovery bidding week has turned into a geopolitical and Hollywood power scramble. Here's the latest from Puck, Deadline, and Variety. The anchor fact that Puck is reporting is that Ellison personally presented his reverse management presentation to Zaslav's team. This is the highest signal of intent. Paramount Skydance is still the only bidder willing to take the entire company rather than cherry-picking the studio and streaming assets. That single fact shapes everything else. Puck also confirmed the updated Zaslav compensation structure that rewards reverse spinoff. This is the exact structure Comcast is considering. Zaslav publicly postures neutrality, but privately resists any scenario where the Ellisons take control. The Zaslav board has to maximize shareholder value regardless of his preference. Deadline supports one major Puck point. The Middle East is now a real factor. MBS pledged $1 trillion in the U.S. investment during the White House visit, and Ellison is on the guest list for the formal dinner on Wednesday. Comcast's Brian Roberts was in Saudi Arabia. Major Gulf entities are already deep inside entertainment, sports, and gaming. I've brought this up too. Their involvement in backstopping a bid is not hypothetical. I want you to really think about that. Paramount Skydance has publicly denied any sovereign wealth-backed $71 billion bid. Deadline shows the pattern clearly. Every major player is quietly meeting with Saudi, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi stakeholders. I want to repeat that. Deadline shows the pattern clearly. Every major player, every one of them, is quietly meeting with Saudi, Qatari, and Abu Dhabi stakeholders. Paramount is not unique. Silence is strategic. The process is confidential. They will not confirm anything until the board rules. Yup. I tried to tell you that too. Variety fills in one key valuation detail. A standalone Warner Bros. Entity would carry a $44 billion enterprise value with a $37 billion equity value. The board cannot ignore a full sale if Ellison raises his offer towards the Axios suggested 27 to 28 per share zone. The Ellisons have the capital to do it, and they have already made 3 bids. Comcast wants only the studio and streaming side. Trump publicly dislikes Roberts. The political headwinds for Comcast are clear, and Comcast stock is near a 14-year low. They need outside capital to match Ellison, which is why Puck speculates Roberts was in Riyadh. Wow. The Middle East, which is so funny too. I don't want to get too crazy here, but it's like the trades are literally trying to the trades were trying to throw Paramount under the bus while understanding completely that every single person in that town wants that money. Every single person in that town is suckling up to the Middle East. Do you know what I mean? So like, let's just be clear about what's happening. The Middle East's broader push to Hollywood raises additional federal scrutiny. CFI US, a national security review, and public pressure after the Khashoggi stuff are real variables. Yeah, I would agree with that. They do not eliminate a bid, but slow the path to approval. Sure. And that's fair because, you know, there's things going on politically right now that I think the administration doesn't want to happen, but they have kowtowed to public pressure, which is how politics in America is supposed to work. We, the people, are holding the power and the pressure, right? I mean, we don't really, but in this instance, it's kind of seeming like we are actually able to push some stuff around. So it is fair to say that even though I view the Trump administration having a really good relationship with MBS, I mean, he was literally in the White House yesterday and they're like, you know, doing all sorts of shenanigans. I think it's fair to say that there would be enough pressure from enough entities in the public to put some headwinds in the way of that, right? Netflix has the stock and cash to make the credible all-stock offer, but the antitrust issues are serious. The Issa and Marshall letter to the administration confirmed the political appetite for Netflix acquiring HBO Max is very low. Reed Hastings does not want the regulatory fight. Okay, so it kind of puts Netflix as doubtable. Doubt it. At this stage, the board is running up the price. Zaslav wants the biggest crown possible. Ellison wants the whole thing. Netflix and Comcast want the good half. All 3 want to present before the November 20th deadline, which is tomorrow. All this shit's about to happen. We're going to find out soon, man. Ellison is the bidder to beat. He is the only one offering a total acquisition. He has the capital, the geopolitical alignment, and a clean regulatory path compared to others. The combination makes Paramount Sky the frontrunner unless someone dramatically raises their number. And I don't think they can. So, look, you know what I think is going to happen? And I said this last week, maybe the week before. The most boring outcome possible is going to happen. The most boring possible outcome. I think Ellison and Paramount get it. I think they do get some Saudi backing. And then I think, because literally they just signed a $1 trillion investment deal. They're supposed to invest in Hollywood or American companies. Paramount is an American company. Like, you see what's happening? So I think the Ellisons get it. I think they keep gun, and I don't think a lot changes. I think all the panic, I think all the everybody getting mad, because I'd love the Snyderverse to come back. Do you know what I mean? I'd love the Snyderverse to come back, guys. I want the Snyderverse to come back. I just don't see it. I literally don't see it. Now, there's an outside chance that due to the Saudis and MBS and maybe Ellison's relationship with them and Zach via the UFC deal and the UFC movie, yes, there is a possibility that something like that could be happening. And I'll tell you this. Dude, Zack mother-loving Snyder is out here like really causing some craziness. Did you see what he's been posting, what he's been liking and doing all this stuff? My man's literally liked a post that was talking about how Man of Steel made more money than Superman, which is honestly debatable. Check this out from his Instagram. He's literally posting stuff about how it's over. The end is nigh. Like, Zach, come on, brother. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I don't know. I mean, he loves that kind of stuff. He's very savvy online. His people are very savvy online. And he's definitely playing some kind of game here, and it's pretty funny. But does it mean anything? You know what I mean? Does it mean anything? I'm not sure. Truly, my current take is that they will just keep it going with Gunn. That's what I truly think that'll happen. I would love for it to be the other way. And by the way, I will say that Cosmic Book News, and I don't really know how accurate these reports are, but like Cosmic Book News right now is reporting some wild shit. Like they're reporting that like Snyder's on board, Nolan's on board, Saudi's on board, Ellison's on board, Zaslav's on board, Henry's on board, Affleck's potentially on board, and others. Okay, so again, like I don't know, guys. Like, dude, I have trouble believing that. Like, I have trouble believing that. But I mean, think about the world we are living in, dude. I don't know. I mean, there's reason to believe this could still happen. So that is the latest, guys, and that's as accurate as I can get about it. So I guess I'll field some questions, and then let's talk about the Doomsday trailer, and then let's get on out of here. All right. So what do you think? What do you think about that? I mean, it's kind of wild, huh? What fans? None of it made money. You're crazy. Get the fuck over it. It's over. Wow. So the trouble is, Josh, and I love it, dude. I love your energy. You're just so aggressive. The trouble with that statement, Josh, and you've got such a good name, you know, it's just such a good name. So I'm gonna go easy on you. But the trouble with that statement is, they said that to the Snyder Bros about the Snyder Cut, and what happened? Okay, so this group of people will never let it go, and why would they? They forced the studio to spend over $80 million to make a movie they had released years ago that they fucked up. They went back to the original creator's vision and created a product that honestly, to this day, kind of haunts them. You know what I mean? So these people will never let it go. And I don't blame them. And I think there's also the fact that the international appeal of Zach's stuff just cannot be denied. His stuff has a much stronger international appeal than Gunn's stuff. I think that's just absolutely what it is. So there's some reason to believe this could still happen. I totally understand how other fans feel really upset about it and don't think it's real or whatever, but yeah. DCEU just needs a few tweaks to be as big as Marvel compared to Gunn's shit. It's a masterpiece. I mean, I agree with that. I don't think everybody agrees with that, but I agree with that. It's trash, Josh. I like the Snyder Cut too, but it wasn't good enough. Agree to disagree, brother. Let's see here. Steven Hot Dogs, what a name, says, didn't you yourself say the Snyder Cut was only made because of the predicament COVID put them in? Wasn't only viable because not that much work was needed to complete it? No. And I've never said that. If you have the impression that I said that, that's not the reporting on it. So my understanding of it is there were people inside Warner Brothers that wanted the Snyder Cut to happen. I mean, isn't that obvious? Otherwise it wouldn't have happened. So there was a debate within the board and within, powerful people at Warner Brothers that wanted it to happen. Snyder and his wife, Deborah, were incredible assets to Warner Brothers, had an incredible relationship to Warner Brothers. And, oh, by the way, you might not understand this, but they played ball with Warner Brothers. When that all went down, it's not like Snyder came out and, nowadays he's a little bit more vocal about it, but it's not like during that whole thing, he was like, Warner Brothers fucked me over. This is what happened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there was a big push, big fan movement, people inside the studio. And I think this could have been connected to Jason Kilar, honestly. I don't know that to be fact, But there were a lot of powerful people that wanted this to happen, and one of them was Zach. And the fact that he was able to show, I mean, this, have you ever read the report of the pitch? He walked into the room and said, look at these social media statistics. This movie that you released 5 years ago is trending more than all the superhero movies you make now. So Zach showed them he was able to quantify that there was an appetite for this thing. Now, you could make the argument he oversold it, because I've heard that maybe the viewership wasn't as good as people expected. And yes, we do know that the Snyder Bros have some bot accounts. You know what I mean? Don't come at me, Snyder Bros. I'm just trying to be honest. So it is possible that maybe they oversold it or whatever. But no. I don't know what you're on about there. Let's see here. RM says, man, I'm just hoping they don't give away cameos like they did in Multiverse of Madness. Who's they? Me or Marvel? Can they do both, Snyder and Gunn verse? I don't think so. I truly don't think so. Yeah. Twist off. No, man, I haven't seen it. I don't pay attention to that stuff, but thank you. Next question. Does Rebel Moon Snyder seem like the guy they want to take over that universe? God damn it, Steven Hot Dogs. Or 7 Hot Dogs. Yeah, I mean, Rebel Moon's a miss. What do you want me to say? Rebel Moon's a miss. I know Rebel Moon's a miss. Some people like it. It's a big miss for me. But I'm still up here saying I want Snyderverse. Like, come on now. General audiences don't seem to care about DC if it's not Batman. Yeah, there's some truth in that. Batman is an incredible draw. Yeah. Love the Snyder Cut, and I'm not a Snyder bro. Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I think it's one of the best superhero movies ever made. Legitimately. It's well crafted, it's well paced, the performances are brilliant, it gets really dark, it has so much fun Zack Snyder action. I love that shit. Too much competition against Gunn if they do that. Yeah, for sure. What if all the false trailers Marvel puts out are just excuses away as unlicensed and worlds that didn't make it? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, brother. Wait, so that Saudi rumor is true? So not only is the Saudi rumor true, but every single Hollywood entity and tech company that is looking to buy Warner Brothers has met with people in the Middle East for money. Maybe with exception Netflix. Maybe Netflix doesn't need it because Netflix wants to make like an all stock offer. Typo. Okay, can you type it in again, brother? I hated Snyder's Superman, but after years of seeing Gunn Superman, I love Snyder's Superman now. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Okay, but wait. Snyderverse has Ezra Flash attached. We can't go back, guys. We can't go there. Oh, yeah, you can. He's just dead. He died on his way back from some planet. What if the Flash broke time and opened up Elseworlds? Yeah, something like that could happen. There's all kinds of ways they could cook, man. Yeah. Okay, gamers. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I really do think it's going to be Paramount. I think they're going to keep Gunn. I think this is much to do about nothing, but either way, we're going to cover it. We'll talk about it and it could get crazy, but, just given all the information that's currently out there right now, I think it's going to be pretty boring. I think a lot of this is just Zaslav trying to push the price up. I think Ellison wants the price as low as possible and he wants the most control as possible. And I think we're going to find out very, very soon. Okay. Let us now go into the third and final topic of today's stream. And oh my goodness, it's a juicy one. And it is about the Avengers Doomsday trailer. Okay. So we know through a variety of sources that, can I show this version of it? What am I supposed to show here? I think, hang on. Let's get the sanitized safe version. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to look at this here from Majestic, which, by the way, I saw some people, Lizzo for Dr. Doom or Bust. You get the fuck out of here, John Johnson. Appreciate the super chat, though. So there were some people in some of the comments and maybe on Twitter as well that were saying that Majestic has been proven wrong about some stuff. Like, yo, please let me know if that is true. I haven't seen any of that. Majestic is somewhat new on the scene, but people that I've spoken to have said he's very, very reliable. But here's something that happens with these scoopers. And if you're watching this, Majestic, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything. You know, I appreciate the DMs and I think you're legit, but sometimes the scoopers, they'll get some accurate stuff and then they kind of start feeling themselves a little bit. And then all of a sudden they start listening to too many people. They start getting sent things. And then all of a sudden they're maybe backing some stuff that's not real, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So with all of that in mind, let us now look at the trailer description for the Avengers Doomsday trailer. Now we know we basically know about as much as we can. We know that this trailer is coming out with Fire and Ash. We know there are different versions of the trailer. John Campea said there's 30 different versions of the trailer, although I have heard that might indicate 30 trailers, like that they're actually going to release over the course of next year. Some debate on that. Christian said they're playing around with a version of the trailer that shows Peggy and Steve, and then there's a version of the trailer that does not show Peggy and Steve. With all of that in mind, let's then now look at this translated from Spanish, mind you, description of the Avengers Doomsday trailer. Okay, the duration they say here is 1 minute 48 seconds. That's a teaser. That feels like a teaser, and the contents of this feel teasing as well. Possible release dates either December 8th, 17th, or 18th. Ooh, quite interesting. The teaser begins with Dr. Doom's voiceover, RDJ. Doom speaks about his life of trials and suffering. Victor Von Doom appears in a cemetery in the rain, his face hidden, until the scene cuts with a flare, leaving only the silhouette of his suit. The screen transforms with a powerful explosion and Loki's voice fades out. Thor appears on a vast coast. Sam Wilson and Reed Richards look at the sky with fear. And Doctor Strange runs through a dark room as two universes collide. What? Cities are also seen being destroyed simultaneously on two planets. Doom says he will release the eternal trap in which he was imprisoned. Several battles led by Doom himself are shown, followed by another narration of his. After the mask falls on him, it is revealed that Doom's face is severely disfigured with a large scar and texture similar to burnt clay. The trailer ends with Steve and Peggy emerging from a TVA-style portal and looking directly at the camera. Okay, first reaction, and then I'm going to dig into this shit. First reaction, chat. What do you think? What do you think of this? Sounds fake? Sounds fake? This seems like the picture of Doom we just saw. Interesting. Interesting. Sounds lit. Let's fucking go. Kind of sus. Okay, lot of different reactions out there. I'll wait to hear maybe a little bit more, and then I'll go into my thoughts here. So weird and easy to call fake that it might be real. 148 should be more like 2 minutes, 2:30. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I want more. I'm always going to want more. I say sus. Sounds cool. Is Captain Carter in this? God damn it! They need to go bigger than this if they want to get the general audiences back. Oh, that's an interesting take. So I think this is actually like hard as nails. I think this is like way crazier than I expected, and I'll explain why in a bit here. It's sus, as in doesn't give enough. But Scott Lang is Batman, absolutely. There probably are 30 trailers, and we end up getting all of them. Ooh. Seems like a weird last shot. Okay. So we got some thoughts, man. Shine said the trailer is great. She did say that, yes. Okay, so let's go through this. The teaser begins with Dr. Doom's voiceover. He speaks about his life of trials and suffering. He's in a cemetery in the rain. His face is hidden until the scene cuts out with a flare, leaving a silhouette of his suit. So, I mean, it's all about what that voiceover is. Okay? But suffering, trials, cemetery. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? Does that sound like if you saw a version of this trailer 4 to 5 months ago, you'd start writing down in your little journal, oh my God, Dr. Doom had a family and it's destroyed and that's his motivation in Avengers Doomsday. Oh my God, I'm going to spread this out behind a paywall on my Discord, fucking Patreon, Twitter bullshit. Like, interesting. Cemetery in the rain, face remains hidden until his scene cuts with a flare, leaving only the silhouette of his suit. Very interesting. The screen transitions to a powerful explosion, and Loki's voice fades out. Well, doesn't it also seem like maybe we heard some shit about Loki around that same time? I mean, again, if you were a scooper and you had access to this trailer 5 months ago, maybe you'd start putting out things behind a paywall about how the movie is going to heavily involve Loki. Interesting. Thor appears on a vast coast. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I wonder what that could be referring to. And again, if there's something going on with Thor and maybe the shore is the shore of the multiverse itself or the Beyondverse or perhaps the Library of Worlds or something to that effect. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, doesn't it also seem like maybe we got some leaks about Thor's involvement in the movie right around the time that maybe this trailer would have been out there and the scoopers would have been seeing it? Like, again, I don't know, but I'm just trying to put the pieces together for you. By the way, tomorrow I have 3 separate calls with some of the best sources I know. And we're going to talk about a lot of shit, which is why I probably got to take Friday off so that I don't spoil anymore. But let's keep going. Thor appears on a vast coast. Quite interesting. Sam Wilson and Reed Richards look at the sky with fear. I don't know. Did we maybe see some scoops from the scoopers in the last 4 to 5 months that said Sam Wilson and Reed Richards would lead the Avengers? I don't know. Doctor Strange runs through a dark room as 2 universes collide. Wonder what that is. I mean, that feels to me like Black Priest shit or Library of Worlds. And if it is the case that Stephen Strange was out there for a long, long time, because remember, he's all grayed up in the photos, if those are real. Isn't it interesting that maybe Stephen has been with Clea and the Black Priests and doing stuff around the multiverse for years and years and years, maybe centuries? And we're going to see him run in between a dark room, runs through a dark room as 2 universes collide. Like, that's kind of a hard, like that. I wonder what that's visually going to look like. But dude, is this going to be our first look at like an actual incursion and shit? Okay. Cities are also seen being destroyed simultaneously on 2 planets. What does that sound like? That sounds like an incursion, 2 planets, 2 Earths, or maybe it's just actual cities being destroyed by 616 characters, or maybe the X-Men, maybe the Sentinels. Like, there's just like a lot of things that could be, right? But it lines up with stuff that we've heard. Several battles led by Doom himself are shown, followed by another narration of his. Okay, now this is juicy because this follows along with what Chris Gore said. Okay, this follows along with what Chris Gore said. Chris Gore said, brother, this ain't a teaser. They're showing you Doom. They're going to show you Doom fucking shit up. Like, they're going to show you him casting magic, doing action. I mean, it's possible we even see him controlling the Sentinels. I mean, I don't know exactly, but Doom, it says here, several battles led by Doom himself are shown, followed by another narration of his. After a mask falls, it is revealed that Doom's face is severely disfigured, with a large scar and a texture similar to burnt clay. Now, this is probably the thing that most people are bringing up to say that this is fake. And the reason they're saying that is because Christian Harloff reported that you would not see Doom's face in the trailer. But remember, all that means is that his source told him you will not see Doom's face in the trailer. We also know that Christian has literally talked about multiple versions of the trailer. Maybe one is going to have Stephen Feige. Maybe one doesn't have Stephen Feige, okay? But this next part is quite interesting. Doom says he will release the eternal trap in which he was imprisoned. Well, what does that sound like, ladies and gentlemen? What does that sound like? The eternal trap in which he was imprisoned. And then several battles led by Doom are shown, followed by another narration of his, probably explaining what he is willing to do to break out of this trap. Yeah, man. Yeah. Now, we just saw earlier today, I showed you it on purpose, potentially the look at Doom's face matches perfectly with this description. I guess we're going to find out. I don't know, man. A lot of this is lining up. And again, this could be fake. This could be, and there's multiple things that could be going on here. Sometimes the leakers will put out something that's real, but then they hide the validity of it by putting some fake shit into it. So I was told that there was this leak one time for Doomsday, and I was like, oh, man, I'm reading this. And I was told, hey, some of this is real, but they put fake shit in there to throw Marvel off. So, like, for instance, maybe the Avengers in the X-Men universe is fake. Maybe that's fake to throw Marvel off. You know what I mean? So that could be what's going on. Christian could also just be wrong, and they're going to show Doom's face. Right? So looking at this, right? Looking at the whole thing, looking at the whole situation, I'm starting to believe this could be real. It's either real or it's such a well-crafted fake that it is utilizing so much of what is out there in established rumor and leak that it could still be kind of fairly accurate, And I'm reminded of so Gore said Universal Monster, Phantom of the Opera. Gore never said they weren't going to show his face. I mean, maybe that's where Gore got those ideas from. This idea of Universal Monster, this idea of the Phantom of the Opera, the idea that it's all messed up. Maybe Gore's thinking they are going to show the face. And Gore said it's to sympathize Victor. They want you to sympathize with Victor. They want him to be a sympathetic character in the way that the Phantom was. I don't know how you do that without showing his face. I think showing the face is potentially one of the craziest things they could reveal. Because I think to this day, people don't think he's going to look like Tony. To this day, people cannot wrap their head around the idea that these two are variants of each other. And I don't think Victor is a Tony Stark. So crazy times, guys, crazy times. And, we're about to find out. We will know for sure one way or the other. Let me just say, too, before we get into your thoughts about this, I will say, if this is real and the visual effects are clean and the tone is scary and it feels desperate and dark and Doom feels like a real threat, we are all the way back. This is the trailer that we first thought it would be when Chris Gore was leaking out this stuff, because he admitted that that fans would love it, that this was going to change the conversation. He described it as a Hail Mary, something to totally change the perception of Doomsday. And if this is real, mission accomplished. This shit is going to change the narrative completely. And I can't wait, because we'll do a lot of content about it. We'll do a lot of breaking down, a lot of videos. Oh, I can't wait. So anyway, that's the thoughts on the leaked trailer description. Would love to know what you think about this. You think it's fake? You think it's real? What are you thinking, chat? Would love to see Guillermo del Toro, Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, oh, yeah, of course. That'd be great. They're showing Doom's face. LOL. They paid Downey $100 million. That is a good point, yes. That is a good point. No mutants in the trailer? Let's any mutants described here? Cities are being destroyed simultaneously on 2 planets. I think that's where your X-Men could come in. Several battles led by Doom himself. You could see some X-Men there. Just got here. What have I missed? Oh, not much, Steve. Yeah, we're basically just getting started. What if no trailers is released in December? Oh, that would be crazy. I think it's real, but I think it's going to be a TV spot for later, as I think the first trailer really would include X-Men or at least the FF. Well, Reed's in here. So, yeah. Josh, thoughts on this confirmation that the F4 end credit scene was Doom's timeline? See Dr. Doom, Sue Storm, and Franklin Richards, Avengers Doomsday costumes on display at the Agbo headquarters. You know what's funny about that, Jay? So we did a watch party a couple of weeks back, and we watched the Fantastic Four movie together when it went to Disney+. And I had that thought, too. I was like, is this even 838? Because Victor enters the Baxter building and no security goes off. Now, Sue's a little like, who's there? But maybe like she's just, you know, a little worried. And maybe Victor's just literally coming home. That would be quite interesting, guys. So I don't know that that's real, but I had thought about that too, yeah. Will Surfer be in Doomsday? Highly doubt it, man. Highly doubt it. Greg, what up? Hope you guys are doing well over there. So much for Reed baby-proofing the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, I am thrilled. I am thrilled with how this is all coming together. And I think the Marvel fans are going to be thrilled as well, man. And I think that in some ways, like the Nerd Ventures are kind of like the tip of the spear. We're like really plugged in, and because I'm so plugged and I share so much stuff, like we tend to be ahead of a lot of where the rest of the fan base is. But it's going to be such a joy after this trailer comes out. Dude, so many people are going to come back. So many people are coming back, dude. They're going to be like, yo, wait a minute. Yo, tell me more about this shit. And then we're going to like, yo, here's everything we know. Let's go. Like, it's going to be so fun, man. I'm very excited for the next year. What have you seen the old F4 cast leaks in the movie costumes? What if Doom is from another universe? Yeah, that could be. That could be. I would love for them to be involved like that, but I'm not sure that that's real either. Yeah. They should have held Del Toro to make this shit scary. Who says they didn't? Oh, thanks, Game Over Jesse. I try, man, you know? Look, I'm not perfect. I know there's still people biffed about, you know, the nerd theory situation. I think you guys have every right to be. I didn't handle that situation perfectly, but look, it is what it is. It is over, and I am moving on. And I'm just going to do my thing. I mean, that's ultimately what I want to do. I just want to do my thing. Not the first time I've done things in a way that even my own audience didn't agree with over the last couple of years. I'm human. You know, I'm a human being. I'm fallible. But, you know, I try to reorient to the principled ways that I think about my job, my platform, my community. And those are like my North Star, man. You know what I mean? Like, those are like my North Star, so. Del Toro should direct Midnight Suns. Ooh, that's good. That would be really cool. I wonder if Del Toro would ever dip his toe into the Marvel thing. I don't know. I mean, he's been very commercial. I mean, he made Blade 2, which I thought was incredible. I think at one point wasn't Del Toro was attached to the Hobbit movies at one point, and then there was a moment where he was going to do maybe Wolverine, or maybe that was Aronofsky. But from what I understand, and I follow this stuff a lot, Jimmy Cameron talked him out of doing The Hobbit. And Jimmy Cameron's like, you need to do your own stuff. So I wonder what that is. But then again, Jimmy Cameron's doing Avatar for 30 years. He was attached to Justice League Dark. Oh, you're right. That would have been fire, dude. That would have been fire. I heard Doctor Doom is going to sound like Bane in The Dark Knight. Jeez, that would be something, huh? That would be something. Which Fox X-Men do you think survive to Battleworld on the raft? There was a list. There was a list somewhere, but I think Cyclops. I think Cyclops is going to be one of them. Maybe Nightcrawler, Gambit. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I hope Gambit gets a lot of shine, man. If that costume image is real, oh my goodness, he looks so good. Yeah, he directed Hellboy too. Yeah, I love Hellboy too, dude. They have that one Most Def song in there. I against I. Flesh of my flesh and mind of my mind. My image is reflected in my enemy's eye, and his image is reflected in mine at the same time. I can't stop. Dude, so good. They cooked. They cooked. Only Deadpool and Wolverine will survive post Secret Wars from a Fox universe. I think it's a little early to call that, but yeah, maybe. Copy strike? Yeah, probably. I should have stopped earlier. Worried it might be like a Doolittle? Dude, what? Holy. Honestly, Josh, lost hope in trailers after Doc Strange 2, 3. I get you, man. Look, everybody has their own feelings about this stuff. Look, you guys fight a lot on the Discord, you know, it's fine. I understand it. It's that comic shop energy. I mean, the Discord is the Discord is literally like the back of the comic shop. Like, y'all are just in there, like, always debating about something or fighting about something. And you should just focus on the glory of Warhammer, right? But I get it, and I think it's, you know, over the past couple of weeks, I've sort of taken the mindset of like, yo, at least they're fighting about this shit and not all the other fucked up shit that's going on in the real world. You know, I always wanted the Den of Nerds to be an escape from the real world. So, yeah. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like, dude, I get it. Everybody's got their opinion. Some of you guys hate Snyder. You're so mad that I still want Snyder stuff. Some of you guys hate Warhammer. Some of you guys hate Star Wars. Some of you guys hate this Doctor Doom shit. Like, you guys are emotional. But the thing is, nerds are emotional. Fans are emotional. We love this shit. You know what I mean? And it's such a big part of our life. We've invested so much time, energy, resources. So we have a claimed ownership of it in some ways, and we can be gatekeepy, we can be difficult, we can be argumentative, right? So, but it is all good. That is what this platform is for. You know, I want to extend the comic book environment into our community. You know. Any updates on Black Swan being in Doomsday Secret Wars? I haven't heard anything official on that now. Kryptonite tornadoes. Let's go. What? How will Spider-Man connect to Doomsday, or will it not until the end credits? I mean, that's a good question. I'm not really sure. I think like the sort of thing that's out there with like the leaks and the rumors is that the movies could be happening at the same time. So like most of Peter's story of what is like the Doomsday story is going to happen in Brand New Day. But does that then mean that he's literally not in Doomsday, or does it mean like at the end of Doomsday, he'll be in the movie in some way? I'm not sure. But there's a lot to sort of suggest that those movies are happening like around the same time, which I think is cool. Oh my God, Justin! Does that mean Hulk won't be in Doomsday? Great question. I mean, there's rumors that there are some Hulks in Doomsday. We just don't know which ones. Oh, thanks, Jay. Yeah, I think we're cooking over here, man. I mean, I feel good. I feel good about the content. You know, again, I have some regrets over my conduct over the last couple of weeks, but all I can do is just move ahead, man. You know, I'm doing my thing. I'm going to recalibrate and reorient to my goals. I wish everybody well out there. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of these other channels. If they are making money off of that situation and they're making content, God bless them. You know what I mean? It's no sweat off my back. It literally does not matter to me. I am so dialed in. I am so focused on like my own personal shit that I don't have time for that. I only have time to make my things, to pursue my goals, to enjoy my life, and that's a lot of Warhammer. So yeah. Brand New Day could end with Sadie's character revealing herself like how she truly is, misleading the audience the entire movie in that post-credit scene. Yeah, it's a good point. You know, Shine said yesterday on Twitter that there's a twist to Sadie Sink's character. And it's like, oh, really? Now you're going to talk about the twist? Oh, really? Now there's more to it? You know? But, I mean, kudos to her. You know, she's reporting the truth. There is a big twist to that character. I don't know exactly what it is, but you guys have heard my theories on it. If the Saudis buy Warner Brothers, do you think they even release Supergirl and Clayface? Yeah, I think they release Supergirl and Clayface. There's actually a high probability they would also release Man of Tomorrow. You know, sometimes these things take time to fully mature, to be actually legally set up. So I would imagine that's probably the rationale for Gunn. I mean, Gunn even said, literally to that one YouTuber, Gunn said there might not be any other movies after Man of Tomorrow, you know, due to the situation. Like, he said that. So I think he knows that. Again, my take though is that Gunn will remain. Actually, I think Gunn's going to remain, mostly because, you know, David, the Ellisons at Paramount, they want a content machine, and I think literally they might force Gunn to like adjust things, which he absolutely should. But I think they want the stream of content. And if they reboot and like if they really go to Zach or whatever, then it would be years before that was ready. Although technically Gunn did that and he fucked over the DCU the same way by announcing a 10-year plan before all those films came out. So yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm much more interested in Man of Steel 2 or a Batfleck movie than I am in Gunn's DCU. I feel the same way. But we also must accept that not everybody does. I feel like it makes too much sense story-wise to have Doom utilize Mystique somehow. She's a great tool of manipulation. Ooh. I like that. What were the context clues, if any, that led you to think it's a she, My Time to Shine? Oh, she just says she's a she, and she identifies as a she. So I don't know that she's a she, but I'm at least going to, like, out of respect, just refer to her the way she likes to be referred to. It's just that simple. Don't need to reboot. Just fast forward to set Batman Beyond universe. I'm with you. I'm with you. I think that would be cool. I'm with you. Doom using Mystique in front of Yelena disguised as Scarlet Black. Oh my God, that is cool. I like that. Holy shit. What if that's what it is? Whew. I like that. That's hot. Dude, what if this guy knows what he's... What if this guy... Are you leaking stuff right now? Because that sounds like... You know something? Josh, I can't remember if you said it, but what if Sadie is Madeline Pryor, sent by Doom, and that's why she's still good to be Jean? Yeah. That could be. That's possible. Yeah. That could happen. There are wider full-body shots of the Doomsday promo photos you showed earlier, by the way. Really? That's interesting. Okay, well, I'll go look at that later. You guys should look at that as well. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the photos again. Yeah, dude, I thought today's stream was great. Just trying to lay it out there for you guys, go over what's out there. Honestly, do not know exactly what's happening, but a lot of it lines up, and that's fun. That's what we do. This is Nerd Venging, man. This is it. This is what we do. I liked Tatum as Gambit, Josh and Deadpool Wolverine. However, I prefer them to recast, but since Hugh is staying, I don't see them recasting anyone. Well, it is possible that they're going to keep some OGs around and yet recast them. So there could be a new Wolverine and we keep Hugh Jackman, right? Jesus. Y'all are wild in the chat a little bit. Turkey stream coming? No, not. I'm excited for Thanksgiving. I think it's gonna be really, really fun. But I don't know that we're gonna do like a Thanksgiving stream or whatever. I'm probably gonna take that day off. Yeah. Good stream. Appreciate you guys. All right, I'm gonna get out of here in a little bit, man. Any last questions, man? I'll chat for like just a few more minutes here. Again, no Nerdvenger stream tonight. I apologize. Actually felt in a good flow. I felt like I was able to hold it together, but like this migraine is building. You know what I mean? So I need to go do clips. I need to work on some other stuff, and then I need to like drink a bunch of water and rest. I'm hoping to be able to stream Deadpool VR tomorrow with you guys, and I'll keep you posted on that. We'll probably just wait till next week to do another Nerdvenger stream, but I'll have a lot to share with you guys. Again, I'm thinking about revamping the membership stuff and maybe bringing some giveaway stuff back. Just really, I want it to feel fucking awesome when you become a member, and I think it used to feel a little bit more awesome, and so I want to fix that. Gambit in Rivals got me kind of geeked for Gambit. Is he fun, dude? Is he really fun? Javier Mendez says Chainsaw Man was fire. Last day in theaters today. Dude, it was so good. Oh, I loved it. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well, man. Yeah. Leg day routine? It's pretty standard. I do, and I actually do this with my dad. Kind of got him to get into lifting weights in his 60s, which is kind of wild, but he's a trooper, man. He's also a wild man. So we do squats, deadlifts. You know, you want to do your compound exercises first, so you have the most weight. And then we break it down to the smaller muscles. So we'll usually do leg curls, leg extensions, leg presses. And then I like the butt kicker machine. I don't know if y'all know about that, but it's like literally like almost like a Pilates, John, where you kick your back leg up and it works your gluteus maximus, which especially as an old man, you do have to worry about your gluteus, man. You know that old man ass where they look like a frog with the legs pulled down? You don't want to look like that. So get them cheeks working. So yeah, pretty standard. Oh, and I'll tell you, Prime stream back and give us a look at the scenes, look at the stream setup. Behind the scenes, look at the stream setup. Sure, we can do something like that soon. If you're a member and you have some ideas about what we could do for the memberships to ramp it up a little bit, let me know. I've also thought about doing a subathon that instead of it just being a subathon, it's like almost like a fundraiser for shit we want to do next year. So like if we got to a certain amount of numbers, maybe Josh does this thing. If we get to another amount of numbers, maybe Josh does this thing. Maybe we have this meetup or we do this function or we have this giveaway or something to that nature. So I think that could also be a really cool way to kind of like jumpstart some fun stuff for next year and get you guys involved a little bit more. You know, my friend Valrak does really smart shit with his memberships, where each gifted membership gives an entry into a giveaway each month. So stuff like that, just a little way to give back to the people that really support the channel, a way to sort of use the community as a jump pad for ideas and also some funding for those ideas. Yeah, so I'm thinking about a lot of stuff, but we'll talk next Wednesday, if you remember. So you got plenty of time. Do some thinking. Put your thinking cap on. Do some brainstorming and get back to me. Carl says, what if Doom is mad at Reed because he mocked him for having formerly been a shoe salesman? That would be rather dumb. But thank you for the 5. Doom has definitely already dealt with the Council of Kings. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. Rob should be members exclusive content. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Yeah. Would you like Man of Steel 2 without the soundtrack of Man of Steel 1? No. You need the soundtrack, dude. You need the Hans Zimmer. That shit bopped. Inflatable bouncy castle every 100 gifted subs so we can all meet up and take turns. Yeah, something like that, except like hopefully better. Hopefully a better idea. Josh, is Clea actually human or is she a female Dormammu in a skin suit? Should Strange logistically clap that? That's a great question. I don't know. I think she's probably a little bit like a Dormammu in a suit, kind of. That's kind of what I think, but I don't know. Captain Zugut says, I say you do a subathon with a different game on the goal list, and we see streaming. What game blows your PC up? Straddle up. Oh, yeah, it's an incredible idea. That would be super fun. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Once again, much love. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Hey, Rossi! Thank you for the gifted. Are those, is that like, what is in your hand in that photo? Is this the burnt peanut? Are you a burnt peanut fan? Goopin'. We're goopin'. Oh, baby, another happy landing. God damn this tower. We just keep it popping over here. Again, really appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the support. Gifted members, memberships, membership chats, super chats, the likes, the subscribes, all of it. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I'm taking tonight off. Should be back at it tomorrow. Much love. Get out there and enjoy the rest of your day. And do me a favor. Actually, make it two. Open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt. Ho! Okay, bye.